them, and he was concerned and showed them love and compassion. And he said it was like emotional fireworks. So in this life review, what they are trying to show us in a nutshell is the entire purpose of our life is to love ourselves and love others the best we can, to treat others with kindness, respect, to be considerate of others. And when we are considerate of others and show others love, it makes heaven happy. And when we're cruel and selfish and manipulative in these life reviews, it makes heaven a little sad. So they're trying to show us the point of life here. Now, people are told all sorts of things in these near-death experiences. Some have very lengthy conversations with the being of light. Others, they meet relatives or angels or religious figures. One guy said he met Peter, the apostle, who was his favorite religious figure, and he said, yeah, he looked a bit shaggy looking. So, you can appear any way you want in heaven, and so Peter was probably appearing the way he did on earth. So they have these long conversations, and they may ask many questions. Some of them ask thousands of questions. And some of the questions they ask are really surprising to get the answers. So people ask questions like, what's the best religion? And the answer is always the same. The best religion is the religion that brings you closest to God. Okay? So how does God feel about religion? That's a very common question people ask near-death experiencers. How does God feel about religion? Well, religion is a tool. And I like to consider it like Captain Cook's brew. So Captain Cook was a captain who sailed ships in the late 1700s. And back then, people would get something called scurvy. So when you were on the ship for years at a time, you were eating, all sorts of food that can be preserved in the ship, but you didn't get fresh fruits and vegetables. And so the crew, half the crew or more than half the crew would die from scurvy on these trips. And scurvy happens because you're not getting enough vitamin C, right? No fresh fruits and vegetables. So you lack vitamin C, and it can kill you. Well, Captain Cook had a brew, and it included all these weird ingredients, sauerkraut and malt and vinegar. But one of the ingredients was lemon syrup, which is loaded with vitamin C. And so if you drank Captain Cook's brew, you didn't get scurvy. But it was only because of one active ingredient, the vitamin C in lemon syrup. And that's the way religion is. The active ingredient in any religion is love. So if you look at the world's major religions, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, there are dozens of them. They really do all focus on some very common themes: brotherly love, charity for the impoverished, forgiveness, self-control, kindness, gentleness, love. Yeah? So the way heaven feels is they want us to love each other, and if you want to use a tool to connect to God, well, then that's fine. And if you want to use a tool to become a better person and be more loving, that's fine. They don't care which tool you choose. And another analogy, this is one given by Cryon, who's channeled by Lee Carroll. He said it's like, imagine if you were in a bitter divorce and your spouse gains custody of your young children in this divorce, and out of bitterness, they're going to hide them from you. Take them far away. You're never going to see your kids again. And for years, you look for your children, and you can't find them. And you finally give up in despair, and you're heartbroken. And the years go by, and one day, the phone rings. It's them. They say, we've been looking for you all these years. We're in your neighborhood right now. Can we come by and see you? Yeah, you're overjoyed, right? It's the happiest day of your life. You're finally going to see your children again. And so you go outside, you wait, and then there's a car coming down the street, and it's them. Now let me ask you a question. Do you care what kind of car it is? Do you care if it's a broken down old car in terrible condition or a brand new car in perfect working condition? You don't care. You're just happy your kids are coming to finally see you. So God doesn't care if a person is in a religion with a lot of bad doctrines and mistaken beliefs and things that are off, or in a really good religion that's, very focused on love. He's just happy that his children are trying to come and see him. And I really believe that just as a bee takes pollen from different flowers, so does a wise person take a sense of goodness from each and every religion. And for those of you who have children, you know that each child expresses their love for you in different ways, right? I mean, it'd be okay if all your children express love to you in the same way, but there's kind of a beauty that they all express love in different ways, right? One may say, I want to help you, Mommy, do the dishes because I love you, and another may run up and give you a hug and say, oh, I love you, Dad. And another may say, here, I made this drawing for you because I love you. And there's a beauty in having love expressed in different ways. And I think God enjoys the various ways and all the different world religions and the different ways we honor God. So that's the way I view religion, as people honoring God in their own way and connecting with God in their own way. So I try and take the good from every religion. And things are changing with religion too. And you won't see about it much on the news, but there are things like in the Middle East, for example, there was an incident, I think back in 2011, where some radical Muslims were threatening to bomb Christian churches on on Christmas Eve. And the Muslims got together and said, no, we're a religion of peace. And even though we don't agree with these Christians, we're supposed to respect other people's religions. And they formed human shields around those churches so that the radical Muslims couldn't harm them. There was another incident of a radical group stopping a group of women on a bus, about 100 women on a bus, and 7 of them were Christians. And they were going to stop the bus and kill the Christians. And the other Muslim women, handed them, head coverings, and they said, well, we're not going to tell you who's the Christians here. You're going to have to kill all of us. And so they saved those women. So religion is changing, and some near-death experiences have been shown the future. And there are people who think that, when we become an ascended species, which we will, that we're all going to be holding hands and singing Kumbaya, and there's going to be one world religion. No, religion's going to change. Religion's going to mature, and people are going to respect each other's beliefs. Now, I grew up Catholic, right? And I've watched that religion change. I've watched how God has worked in the hearts of men to make the religion better. When I was a child, it was kind of rough preaching. Now, just recently, my wife is Catholic, so we go to Catholic church together. We were in church, and they went over the story of the prodigal son. And for those of you who don't know that, a man who was kind of wealthy, one of his children said, give me my half of the inheritance now. And then he went out and blew the inheritance and was starving to death and came back to his dad's house thinking, well, I'll ask to be one of his servants, and at least I won't starve to death. But his father welcomes him home with open arms, right? So this priest in this Catholic church, his conclusion was, you see, God loves you no matter what you do, even if you're bad. He's not going to punish you for being bad. If a priest had said that in the Catholic church when I was a child, he'd never preach in that church again. And 500 years ago, the Catholic Church was selling indulgences. Pay us money, and we'll pray for your dead relatives so they get into heaven. Well, they don't do that anymore. They matured out of that. So religions are going to mature as the consciousness and the spirit of human beings matures. And so that's kind of one of the beauties of heaven and the messages we hear. Now, there's some other things they talk about. And I think one of the most exciting things they talk about, a few near-death experiences are shown the future of mankind, of humanity, right? Now, if you survey the world today, it seems like everything's falling apart, right? And there's lots of scriptures and religious text and writings that predict the end of mankind. Revelation, Nostradamus, Mother Shipton, where they predict that.
Well, okay, that's going to be for the next video. Near-death experiences that talk about the future. All right, so in this video, God tells us what the best religion is. And you guys probably, if you watched the entire video, you guys should know what the best religion is. Well, I'm going to get to that in a second. All right, so just a little summary of notes that I took down. So when people have their life reviews after they pass away, or just having a near-death experience, they die and then they come back to life. During their life review, what you do to others, whether good or bad, you feel it in your life review. So if you punch somebody in the face in your life review, you're going to feel the pain that that person felt, for example. Or if you do something good, like you were helping the elderly at the end of their lives, and those elderly people felt really, really happy and good. Well, you also have the feelings, the good feelings that you made people feel. You feel that as well. So what you do to others, you are going to know how those people felt in your life review. So our life review shows us the entire purpose of our life. It's to love ourselves and love others, to treat others with kindness, respect, to be considerate of others. When we do these things, it makes heaven happy, and when we don't, it makes heaven a little sad. Best religion is the religion that brings you closest to God. So pretty much it doesn't matter. There isn't a right religion as long as we treat others with respect, love, and we get close to God through that religion. The main ingredient in any of the major religions is love. Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Judaism, and any other religion that focuses on the same common themes: brotherly love, charity, for the impoverished, forgiveness. Forgiveness is huge. Self-control, kindness, gentleness, and love. They don't care what religion you are. And God doesn't care what religion you are, as long as you treat others well and you try to seek a close relationship with God. Cryon is one of the channeled angels. So in near-death experience, they confirm that some of these channeled entities, which are angels, the positive beings, are good, Not the negative beings, but the positive beings are angels. And people that are channeling, that's legit, that's from God. Right? God doesn't care what religion you use to come back to God. He's just happy his children are seeking him. All that matters is people honoring and connecting with God in their own way. So, that's all that matters. It's not like one religion's going to go to heaven and the others don't. God doesn't care what religion you are. As I said, as long as you're treating others well and you're trying to connect with God and you honor God. People will, so in the future, people will respect each other's religions. Religions will mature once humans and the human consciousness mature. So people have seen the future in their near-death experiences, and they've said that religions are going to start maturing more, and they're going to respect each other's religion. Like, that's going to be huge, So that taught me something too, that even I need to, respect everyone's religion. I'm going to continue, talking about the things that I believe in and that I believe is truth. But, I'm still going to respect other people's religion and get closer to God. And that's all that matters. All right, guys. I love you guys. And I will see you guys in the next video that talks about near-death experiences of what the future shows. All right, guys. See you guys later. All right. Bye.